In today's video, I will tell you all about a new project, a new coin you have to put on your coin watch lists, because this coin is in the top trending narrative and will do exceptionally well during the summer months. So let's not lose time and start right into it, so you have time to prepare your portfolio before we go into a crazy altcoin season. And yes, we will go into a crazy altcoin season. So let's go. As I already told you in the last videos, the SEC is opening all doors for DeFi. DeFi will become the next big thing in America. So in the past, it was not really possible to use different DeFi applications. DeFi project was not able to grow really big in the United States because there was a lot of unclarity in kinds of regulations. But now the SEC and Paul Atkins want to innovate DeFi. They want to bring DeFi forward. So DeFi is the top trending meta at the moment. And as we can see in the trending coins, there is a lot of DeFi coins in it. For example, Hype, it's my favorite altcoin and my biggest altcoin position. Then we have here Aerodrome, the biggest DEX on the Coinbase blockchain, the Base blockchain. Then we have here Solana, we have Uniswap, the biggest DEX overall. We have Ethereum and we have Sui, which are also building DeFi protocols. So a lot of noise in the DeFi space at the moment. That's why I am holding a lot of DeFi projects in my DeFi portfolio. So how can you look for DeFi projects? You can go to categories, for example, on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko and look for DeFi. And when we go into DeFi here, we see a lot of interesting projects. I on my end hold Hype, I hold Chainlink, I hold Uni, I hold Aave, I hold Ondo, our #1 real world project as well. And I also hold some Jupiter token if the Solana ecosystem will come back, and also some JLP token gives me some nice yield. Also some Injective, very undervalued at the moment. And what also is interesting, I already told you about, is for example on the Base ecosystem, it's Aerodrome Finance, and we have here Morpho. Both are some very interesting projects on the Base ecosystem. Morpho is a lending market like Aave. Aave is the biggest lending market in DeFi. It's at the moment the #1 since years, but there is some nice competitors like Morpho, but there is also another project that is very interesting at the moment, and I will tell you all about it in today's video. How the project got my attention is by their numbers. Their monthly revenue is really strong, one of the best in DeFi at the moment, and their TVL is exploding. Yeah, they're kind of skyrocketing at the moment. So really interesting for us, really good for us, because we know what happens when there is a lot of revenue and a lot of TVL. You can see at the Hype token, the price of the coin will go only into one direction. Yeah. The project I want to talk with you about today is Maple Finance, and their coin is called Syrup. Syrup is a very new project. They launched in November, and as you can see, since then the project is kind of exploding nearly. Yeah. So this is why it is very interesting for us. Since its launch, Syrup is performing exceptionally well. It's one of the best performing DeFi tokens overall. So this is why we have to have a deeper look into our Syrup project. Yeah. #1 reason why the project is very interesting to us is because the TVL, the money that's flowing into the project, is very big, because now some institutional investors are coming for the project and they want to use the project. That's what's the difference between other projects and DeFi projects. DeFi projects are good when they are used, and this is one of the projects that is used by big companies at the moment. As I already told you, the revenue is exploding, and they will also use their revenue to buy back their token. As I already told you, we have some very big institutional interest. For example, they have a new partnership with Cantor Fitzgerald, which is one of the biggest investment banks in the United States, Cantor has one big plan. They want to offer their clients that they can use their Bitcoin and get some financing on it, like JP Morgan is planning now. So Cantor and Maple can do that already. So people can, for example, deposit their BTC as a collateral and get some nice stable coins as a financing on it. So they can use their stables or their real world money, whatever they like, and do whatever they want with it. But there's more institutional backing like Cantor. We also have Bitwise as a partner. You know, Bitwise, they also have their BTC and ETH ETFs already on the start. But there is more institutional partnerships like Circle, the company that gave USDC to us. Circle also had their IPO not long ago. It is one of the best performing companies in the whole crypto sector. Also, you can use Syrup, for example, for some DeFi solutions. You can get some nice yield on your USDC or your Bitcoin. But what's even more interesting for me on my own is the token and the token buybacks. The token will be bought back with the revenue. That means 20% of the revenue is allocated to buy their token back. At Hyperliquid, it is 97%, but I think also the 20% is a good start into the right direction. Some ex-user describe the buybacks like Michael Saylor buys the Bitcoin back. Here, Maple Syrup buys their Syrup coin back. Also, the tokenomics is very nice. Nearly all of the tokens are already on the market. More than 90% of the token are already on the market, and the valuation is only at 500 million. A lot of the people think that the 500 million is very, very undervalued for a project with this revenue, with this potential, because most of the DeFi tokens are really fighting for attention. But Syrup is rewriting the rules. They are growing really, really big. 2 billion is a lot of money. Then there is 45% of the Syrup tokens already in staking, so they won't be sold. Then we have the quarterly buybacks. And until today, there is no VC pump, no hype, just organic growth. There is people describing Syrup as the next Aave or the Aave of this cycle. But in my opinion, there is nothing like Aave. Aave is the number one in lending. So it is more than 10 times as big as Syrup. But I'm looking very forward to Syrup competing with Aave here. But Aave is the number one. The Aave token is also very interesting. Also, they're doing some token buybacks. And I think also the Aave token is at the moment, for the size of Aave, very, very cheap. What is the next steps for Syrup? A lot of people think the next target here will be 80 cents. One ex-user asked Grok where Syrup is going, and they told us if we're going in a crazy bull market, if we're going into an altcoin season, if the SEC is approving the real world asset adoption, then Syrup could go to $18. I, on my end, think somewhere between $5 and $6 would be a very, very nice target for the upcoming altcoin season. And as I already told you, this is a new project, so please, my friends, be careful and always start your portfolio at the bottom. So what does that mean? My portfolio is always built like this. 50% of my cryptos is USDC. And this USDC I'm using in different DeFi strategies to generate some nice yield, to generate some cash flow. With the cash flow, then I am able to buy other projects. Everybody has to have BTC in his wallet, so BTC should build your coin layer. Then on top, you should buy some Ethereum. Everybody has to have BTC and ETH in its portfolio. And then you can go for some high potential coins, like the number one DeFi coin Hype, the number one real world asset coin Ondo, the number one gaming coin Sui, the number one layer 1 coin Casper, the number one AI coin Tau, the number one DePIN coin Render, the number one Oracle coin Link. And if you want to catch some trending narratives like DeFi at the moment, you can do that, but only with a small amount of money. That's why I would recommend you to use your generated cash flow from a week or a day and buy the tokens you're interested in. For me, at the moment, DeFi projects are very interesting, so I try to catch the trending narrative DeFi, and this is why I'm DCAing into the project Zero. You should not buy at the all-time high, but you should use the setbacks. You should use the corrections. This is how you can get a very low average price on your entry. So always DCA into the project when you are interested to buy the project. So where can you buy the project now? If you don't know, you can always go on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap on markets, and you can see where you can buy the token. It is nearly listed everywhere, which is really strong for a project this new. If I would buy the token on a centralized exchange, I on my end would buy it on Femex. The link to Femex you find in the video description. And if you want to buy the token on a decentralized exchange, I would always go for LlamaSwap. Here you can say, for example, you want to buy the token with USDC, put in how much you want to spend, and then put in here the token you want to buy. I already did Syrup, and then it tells us how many Syrup tokens we can get for the amount we put in here. Then we just have to confirm, and the token is straight sent to our wallet or to our hardware wallets. And then you can do whatever you like with the coin. You can stake it, you can put it in your hardware wallet, you have the choice. If you have any questions to that project, please let me know down in the comments. I hope I was able to give you some interesting insights into one of the most hyped DeFi projects at the moment. If you liked the video, please smash the follow button, smash the like button, and share this video with your friends. Thank you for watching. See you soon.